to take it coast to coast, and we're going star watching, friends. Let's start with Anthony Edwards. Powered through a bad back and a little bit of a bad start to drop 41 in the Wolves opener. Now he faces Luka and the Lakers tonight. So, Miss Chiney, what do you need to see from him at Crypto?
That dog mentality. He has the capability of making it barbecue chicken because right now the Lakers, their defense is questionable, especially on the perimeter. And who's the last person you want to see in that circumstance? Anthony Edwards. So for him to really continue to do what he does best, I expect a big night, 30+ from him.
He always puts on a show in Los Angeles, it feels like, too. Speaking of a show, Ja lit up New Orleans, 35 in the opener. Flying, finishing, flashing vintage Ja. He is questionable tonight, but Perk, you were impressed with what you saw from him in Game 1, yeah?
Damn right I was, Malika, and he looked like the the forgotten child, right? The guy that's trying to put his name back into the conversation with the elites around the league. I'm expecting this consistently from Ja Morant. He looked great the other night against the Pelicans.
And then we saw a dominant performance, Perk, 37 in the opener from Giannis, looking every bit locked in on both ends. Now comes Game 2 in Toronto, and an early chance to set the tone for Milwaukee's season. So, Brian, what do the Bucks need to prove to Giannis?
Those two layups were two. There's three. He took 18 shots in the restricted area. He made 15 baskets in the paint in this game. Whatever the Bucks are going to do, and they've already got an injury to Kevin Porter, who's going to be out for a bit, Giannis is determined to go down going to the basket. He's really started this last year, and his performance in Game 1 said he's going to keep on keeping on.
And then there was Victor Wembanyama. He picked up right where he left off and then some. 40 points against AD in the Mavs, setting a franchise record for points in a season opener. A reminder that the league's future, it might already be here. So let's talk about this young man with a little in the bonus. It's Wemby's world, and we are all just living in it. Victor Wembanyama, he became the first player to record 40 points, 15 rebounds, and 0 turnovers, and shoot 70% since individual turnovers were tracked in 77-78.
Ridiculous.
He did it against Anthony Davis, might we remind you. But the way he did it maybe stood out even more, yeah? A career-high 11 makes off of the dribble, 7 dunks, only 2 attempted three-pointers, but his average shot distance was 3.5 feet shorter than any game last season. And it only took one game for Victor to leap from 5th to 2nd in MVP odds. He already passed Ant, Giannis, Luka, and Jokic. He only stands behind SGA. And it seems like every time Wemby plays, he's reminding us that we have never seen anything like him on the basketball court before. Brian, for the very first time this season, it feels like we need to remind the people of the golden rule here.
Don't put any ceilings on Victor Wembanyama. He's going to start bumping his head. The thing is, I talked to league executives and scouts over the last 48 hours about this performance was that, as you mentioned earlier, it was against largely Anthony Davis. This is one of the best and most dominant big man defenders of the last decade. He had no worries. He went right at him repeatedly. Anthony Davis is not used to having this happen to him. Also, he did it to Derek Lively, who's an excellent defender, who's got great size. AD can't do anything about this. This is not something we normally see. Maybe AD is not in midseason form yet, but he is not used to getting worked like this.
No, I agree. And look, Malika, yes, it's Wemby's world, but we just all trying to get an apartment in it. Just a little piece. I just want a townhouse, right? I just want a townhouse. And Wendy, you're right, but he also was going at Derek Lively as well. And I don't see any other big in the league, maybe Jokic, that's going to that has the capability of putting up a performance against that Dallas Mavericks front line. But the most important thing that stood out to me is that, hey, y'all, Wemby wants to win. Like, he wants to win. It's more than just the numbers and the highlights and he's going to put on the show. We get that. But the contagious energy that he's bringing, that mindset, we seen it from Stephon Castle, who, by the way, had a good opening night. We seen it from Dylan Harper, the rookie, come in off the bench with 15 points. This Spurs team is walking into arenas every single night with the mindset that they're trying to win this basketball game. So don't just check the box and say Wemby's just trying to get his numbers. No, he's actually trying to accomplish something team-wise.
And I can't wait to see what this team looks like with De'Aaron Fox also back in the mix as well. first game of the night, it was a finals rematch, and it was something, Chiney, that we've literally never seen ever in NBA history here. We're going to pick this one up late, under 2 left in the fourth. Thunder down 1. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander drives, hits a tough layup high off the glass, and now the Thunder up 1 in this one. But do not underestimate the Indiana Pacers.
We've had multiple games of the year, and how many days are we in? Pascal Siakam had him going off the dribble, but they had no answer for that man that is the reigning MVP.
Can the Thunder ring one more time? Next possession. The Pacers bring the double on SGA. He settles for that step-back 3, so to overtime we go. They have played a whole lot of overtime games already. The minute and a half left in the first overtime. Thunder down by 2. SGA drives. His finishing package is so tough, Brian.
He is so tough at the end of these games. He's so confident. He's got a full bag. It's just hard to stop him.
Siakam. Pacers back up on top. And then after 2, A.J. Mitchell free throws. The game is all tied at 122, 30 seconds left here. Next Pacers possession, 2-point game. Benedict Mathurin works his way inside.
Sweet.
Let me see that finger roll. Another chance for SGA to win it. Nope, can't quite get. But the shot is off. It's a good look. Tyrese Halliburton dressed as a teacher and loving it. 2 double overtime, we go here. This game makes the Thunder the first team in NBA history to play multiple overtime games in each of their first 2 games of the season. SGA said, nah, Brian, we're not going to a 3rd overtime here.
He was like, I've had enough.
Yeah, he even said, I'm a little tired here. And then under 3 to play, Gilgeous-Alexander finishes once again at the rim. He finished with a career-high 55. The Thunder win it. Here's SGA on being in another double OT affair. But first, the Thunder are the 2nd team in NBA history to win consecutive games in multiple overtimes at any point of a season. They joined the Spurs. It was April of 2005. They beat the Clippers in double overtime, and then the Warriors did it in double overtime as well. Now here's Shai with our Katie George after the game.
If it ends in wins, we'll take it. That's what I would say. But shout out to the guys tonight, man. I got cold in the fourth. Just a couple free throws, a couple easy ones. I just don't get discouraged by whatever's going on in the game. Trust my work and try to get the things that I'm comfortable getting to. And that's 2 games in a row. I got enough done to get a W.
Trust his word. If I had one word to describe SGA, it would be problematic, because he is a puzzle. He is a problem for defenses. Let's break down his career high night. He scored 90 points in the last 2 games, the most by a reigning MVP after dropping 55. And despite shooting 26 free throws last night, only 27% of his points have come from the line. So he is a problem for defenses for 2 reasons. 1, defenses cannot keep him in front. On these possessions, they're gonna try to do pin down screens to confuse the defenders. You're late, you're frustrated, you're like, what just happened here? By then, he's already done his damage. He gets the rim. These are easy looks. He was 15 for 31 from the floor last night. Now, the second thing that keeps you in scrambles is the fact that he knows how to get you out of position. He draws fouls this way. Excellent, 23, I believe, of 26 from the free throw line. But most importantly, he finishes his shots. A lot of these are and-one scenarios. Look at his shot chart. It is wild. First 2 games, he's gone 27 for 57 from the field. As I mentioned, 90 points. If people were wondering, is he going to slow down? I think he showed you the answer here. A number. This is why people are frustrated. This is where he's comfortable. You force him right, but guess what? He draws free throws. So he is someone that is amazing. He's a problem for the entire league through 2 games.
And that's why so many people have them going back-to-back, Chiney. I mean, we're in for a treat. I was in Chase Center when the Warriors, down double digits in the fourth, had Steph Curry flip the switch. He scored 22 in the final stretch to bury Denver in overtime. Now, the Dubs stay perfect, and Steph reminded everyone that the show is far from over. So Anthony Slater covers the Warriors for us and has a story now on ESPN.com exploring how the Warriors are both building for the future and the now. And they've been saying that for a while, Slater, but 2 games in, it looks pretty good. How are they managing to do both?
Well, let's go back to the summer of 2024, a couple off seasons ago, where, they chased Paul George pretty hard. We'd all remember they may have dodged a bullet not getting him. And then they were in the Lauri Markkanen conversation, and they decided to back out of it because of how much Utah was asking for. And Draymond Green, in the piece you mentioned, told me he was one of the people in the organization saying, no, don't trade everything, all of our future assets for that, because they do care about the future. I would say the 2 timeline, experiment has faded in a lot of ways, but I thought last night was a good encapsulation that it's not completely dead, because if you look at that closing lineup, it was this older guard, right? Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, Steph Curry, Al Horford. That's 35, 35, 37, and 39. But who was the fifth guy in that lineup? Jonathan Kuminga, 23 years old. He's probably kind of still the poster of the fading days of the two-timeline era, and it closed really well. And, as you look forward, there still is somewhat of a future for the Warriors with the young guys and with the picks. And then, flipping it to tonight, Malika, you were in the press conference last night. They rushed out of there. They got on a plane. They got their sleep as much as they could. And I expect all their veterans, except for Al Horford, to give it a go tonight because they're trying to get off to a hot start.
Yeah, Al Horford not playing in back-to-backs this season for the Golden State Warriors, Steve Kerr has already said, which is why you saw him get a little bit more run maybe than he normally would last night. Anthony Slater, it is always a pleasure to have you on the show.